you want an exposure to a market or an
Everything they need in one place.
Be the world's foremost authority on
Individuals, advisors and institutions.
Hello and welcome to Morningstar. It's time for us to check in with Jose Garcia Zarate, a senior fund analyst and economist here at Morningstar, for our quarterly macro checkup. Jose, thanks for joining me.
Hello.
So, to put it into context, what's going on in the Eurozone and the UK at the moment, sort of 6 months ago, we were all doom and gloom, and then towards the end of 2014 and so far in 2015, we've seen some really strong market performances from European countries in general, with the exception of Switzerland. What's changed?
Three key elements that were not really apparent 6 months ago. First, the collapse in oil prices. Second, the monetary activism on the side of the ECB, not just in terms of bringing rates to an absolute low of zero, but also actually approving a very ambitious program of quantitative easing. And third one, which has been also very instrumental, has been the depreciation of the euro versus all main trading currencies, which has provided a particular boost to exports. And those three key elements, which I define as a macro trinity, have somehow saved the day because the Eurozone was actually, in the middle of last year, was heading for a period of slowdown. And thanks to the combination of these three macro factors, has avoided a relapse into a potential recession, quite frankly.
And what about Greece? So now that there's sort of some sort of deal or interim deal has been struck, does that remove that noise from the Eurozone stories?
I would be very happy to say yes. Unfortunately, I can't. I think this is kind of like one of these recurrent stories. I mean, if you remember, you interviewed me about 6 weeks ago, and I said at the time that I thought that the room for negotiation of what we expected to be at the time the new Greek government, I thought that it was going to be fairly slim, and that's proved the case, actually. The agreement or the deal that has been signed implies a bit of a back down from the promises that were made during the electoral campaign by this radical left-wing force. However, the agreement is only for 4 months, so I would expect that we will be talking about Greece in 4 months' time again, because that's when the real program, negotiation of the program, will be tackled.
So Greece aside, are there any other sort of red flags on the horizon for the Eurozone as a region? Because everything that you described as we first started talking, they're positive effects. But is there anything else we should be worried about?
They are positive effects, and I think that the economic agents should really seize this opportunity. This is a combination of positive factors, and that hopefully would allow politicians, economic agents, and enterprises and consumers and so on to drive things forward rather than become, complacent that things are looking a bit rosy at the moment, because there remain a series of structural flaws in many of these countries. And I think one of the key problems is still the high levels of unemployment. They're coming down, that's true, even within the younger, the young section of the population. Is not as overly dramatic as it was, let's say, 2 years ago. But we're still talking about sort of like rates of unemployed between the young population around the 40 to 50% in countries like Spain, Greece, and Italy. I mean, that's not really sustainable in the long term, and it's a structural problem that needs to be tackled.
Well, it sounds like when we talk again in 3 months' time, Greece is obviously going to be on the agenda.
It will be, yes.
We'll be looking closely at these other economic factors as well.
All right.
Thanks for joining me, Jose.
Thank you.
For Morningstar, I'm Holly Cook. Thanks for watching.